Brian Windhorst of ESPN revealed the trade pieces the Cavaliers can use if they want to add a player at this year's deadline to improve their championship chances. Cavs fans need to know these options when we talk trades coming up later in the season. Hey everybody, Billy Beebe back with you on Cavs Digest, talking Cavs basketball. Best record in the NBA, no doubt about it, 29-4. Today's video is a great reason to subscribe, a great reason to drop down into the comments, talk about what you think, talk about what you have seen, what you have heard, and what you think the Cavaliers should do. I know we have talked, should they trade, shouldn't they trade, who for, what they can trade. I'm really excited to jump into this one and hear from you guys down in the comments. Right now, we are almost to 1,500 subscribers. And a lot of people who are watching the videos, whether it be once or 100 times, aren't subscribed. The percentages are just watching it and watching when it pops up. When you subscribe, you'll be alerted. It'll let you know so you don't miss anything. So be sure to subscribe. And for this video today, specifically, be sure to drop down into the comments. So Brian Windhorst of ESPN, a lover of Cleveland, a Cleveland guy, always trust when he says something that he's plugged in and actually cares about what the Cavs are doing. He revealed the three pieces the Cavaliers can actually trade, what they realistically have to offer. I know there's been a lot of debate, one-for-one swaps. They don't have any draft picks. The money doesn't work. We've debated it a lot on this channel about what players on the Cavaliers they can actually use to get what back for how long, draft picks, money. We've been through it a million times. Again, I personally trust Brian Windhorst. I know he cares about the Cavs, pays attention to the Cavs. So when he says this is what they can offer, this is what they may trade or may look at trading, I trust him. So he was on ESPN Cleveland. We're going to watch that video and kind of walk through that.
As I'm watching them in this last 12 games, what I'm thinking is, do they need to go see if they can find an upgrade? They have three valuable things, and you're not messing with that starting five. Forget about it. So they have their 2031 first-round pick, which, guys, it's so preposterous to talk about trading that away that it wouldn't even be something I talk about, but they have it. The second thing is they have Jalen Tyson. Now, this rookie class is not performing that well, but he has looked pretty good when he's played, and I think that you could look at him and view him as worth a first-round pick in trade. You might be able to go to the market with what was the equivalent of 2 first-round picks. And then the big decision, the big piece that you have is Levert. He's been one of the most valuable bench players in the league so far. He is a bona fide contender for sixth man. But he is a free agent to be. He's an expiring contract. That's a player with real value. Those three things, you could go to the market and you could do some stuff.
Okay, so if you've stuck around this long, if you watched the video this long, we appreciate it. To repay you, let's jump to the most interesting one. He recommends and says that Caris Levert is one of the options for them to trade. He says Caris Levert has been one of the best six men in the league. I completely agree. I think if I looked at the odds, I think he's still top 10, but he's not top 5 for sixth man of the year, really in that voting. Whatever your opinion is there. He's been with Cleveland for 3 years now. Has done pretty well, right? Has played pretty well with the Cavs. Has done a good job. You feel like gets a little streaky in the playoffs, gets a little streaky at times, but I think this year specifically, Levert has really fit in with the newly established high-scoring and 29-win offense. You look at his averages there, it's about what you want from your sixth man, and a guy that's had to spot start here and there, a guy that's had to ball handle here and there. You just really like what Caris Levert has done this season. I think Windhorst hit on the main point that his contract's expiring. So if you feel like he's extremely valuable and this could be the end, like a team like the Kings or someone is going to pay him a lot of money next year to be a starter, I think. Not, 30+ million, but a good chunk of change to actually be a contributor. So if the Cavs feel like they want to get something, swap for someone with another year or two, or when they're at the table to trade, this is a real player in who they could trade. That's the first one. So drop down in the comments. Do you want to trade Caris Levert? How would you feel if they traded Caris Levert? Let me know what you think on that one. The other ones that he had talked about, Jalen Tyson. I think we all kind of knew this one, right? This was your most recent first-round pick. He showed some potential. Like Wendy said, he's worth a first-round pick, maybe two, just because of how bad this draft class was. And if you're a young team and you wasted your pick or you didn't even have a pick, you want to get something for him, and this class has been bad. This has been one of the better players in the class. Look, his stats aren't there because he just hasn't played much. And I said, coming out of the draft, scouting this guy and looking at this guy when the Cavaliers picked him, he needs his minutes to contribute, and he'll need his minutes to get a feel for the NBA. He's not going to get them here. He's just not. He's not going to be a contributor for the Cavaliers the rest of the season. I really don't think so. So if a team wants to bring him in and give him those minutes at a spot and make sure he develops, make sure he becomes a player, I think it's good. A team like the Pistons, a team like the Bulls, if the Bulls decide it's rebuild time, the Pelicans, if they decide it's time to rebuild and get to it, which we'll possibly plug that here in a second with the Pelicans, I think that makes a lot of sense. The next one would definitely be, sorry about that, draft pick 2031, while away. That's the LeBron situation that the Lakers have had. So that's, do you want to trade a pick when you have no idea what's going on in 2031? That's 6 years away. The Lakers have really pulled back on trading that pick because they just don't know what their team's going to look like years from now. I don't care. I don't really care. I would guess you'll have Evan Mobley, and I would guess you'll probably have Darius Garland, hopefully, still, so you should still be a good team. Trade that pick, win now. I've always thought that. I was mad back in the day when the Cavaliers wouldn't do that. So drop down in the comments. You got Caris Levert, Jalen Tyson, 2031. What do you think about trading those things? Did you know that those were the main three things that the Cavaliers had to kind of dish out in a trade? I did not. About Caris Levert, I didn't really know that was like a key thing they would bring to the table in a trade. The last thing I kind of wanted to note was the name still floating around. Windhurst noted the other day actually that Cam Johnson, not somebody they've talked about, but he is somebody they should look at. And Jonas Valanciunas with the Wizards, I like him a lot. I would rather they get a backup big rather than a wing. And I know that's a hot topic. That's a video we've made before. Again, that's the reason to subscribe. We're doing different videos that all connect to each other. I would rather they get a backup big. I think it'll help give Mobley some time off. It'll help give Allen some time off at times. And then that position isn't just a dud. When guys are either you're playing too small with Dean Wade or not aggressive enough with Dean Wade, or, I just don't think Tristan Thompson gives you that much anymore. So to get a Valanciunas would be really helpful. Drop down in the comments. Let us know about those three things that Windhurst talked about the Cavaliers will bring to the table in a trade, the things they will have to trade. And be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest.